Oof. Hey guys, what's up? It's Alyssa. I know it's been a long time, but I have a lot to tell you guys. Say hi to Maze. She's in the video today because she's very sweet and she likes to stay around me. So over the last year, obviously, everybody in the world has gone through a lot with COVID and everything. For me and Mason personally, it's been a lot. February last year, we moved into this house. My car broke down, I had to buy a new car. We got engaged. We had to quarantine because COVID started. Our dog passed away in November. In September, I found out that I am pregnant. There's a lot of good mixed in with the bad, obviously, but hopefully this year is better. I'm due on May 21st, 2021. And we're actually in his room right now. We have like boards still. We like redid the whole room. It was carpeted and the walls were like beige tan, like the same color as the rest of the house. But we pulled all the carpet up, redid the flooring, and painted all the walls. I'm so excited. Like, let me show you guys, like literally my mini tripod is sitting on top of a soothing starlight hippo right now that my parents got Ethan for Christmas. So if that doesn't say I'm a mom now, I don't know what does. But I'm gonna show you guys like our pile of stuff. We're in his room, but like it's completely empty because we haven't gotten anything like furniture wise yet. So it's just me and Maze here. And some tools because Daddy didn't finish Ethan's closet yet. So, but this is all of his stuff so far. This is the little hippo thing. It's actually like a, like it plays music. And it's a like starlight thing. Anyway, this is all of his stuff. So we have a massive amount of clothes. Like I've gone through all of them, but I haven't picked out, like a lot of them are hand-me-downs and stuff. So I haven't picked out exactly what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep. And then a lot of the stuff is, most of the stuff is presents from Christmas. And then we have all of his decor for the walls that we are going to put up after we get his furniture. That is kind of like the update. This video, I'm gonna be talking about my pregnancy so far and what it's been like for me. I know every pregnancy is different. It treats every woman differently. Some people have it really hard, some people don't. Sorry if I'm like, if I sound out of breath, it's because I am. Like, I'm 7 months pregnant. I'm just gonna talk, I'm gonna ramble a lot. Also, I just wanna say thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. I know I haven't posted like consistently in a long time, but to see that you guys are still subscribing and to see people still commenting on my videos all the time really like motivates me to want to still post. I just didn't really know how to come back to YouTube with basically an entirely different life. I'm here now and we're gonna cover these pregnancy topics. So let's get started. How we found out. So it's actually a really funny story. I always joke with Mason about being pregnant, or I'll be like, guess what? And he's just like, what? And I'm like, I'm pregnant. Or I'll just be like complaining that I'm feeling sick or something, and he's like, what, you pregnant? And I'm like, yeah. And like jokes like that pretty much. So let's go back to August. Around August 14th, 2020, that's when I usually get my period. And I remember complaining to Morgan, my friend, about how I hadn't gotten my period yet and I was kind of worried. That day I complained to her about not starting. I went home and I was spotting. So to me, it was kind of like a red flag because I'm usually, I might be TMI, but I'm a heavy bleeder. I was concerned, but I took it as more like, okay, this is spotting, like at least it's something. I let it go. I spotted for about 2 or 3 days, which is again abnormal for me because I bleed for a good 4 or 5 days and the first 3 are always heavy. I went to Alabama with my friend Adrian and we celebrated our friend's birthday over there. I came back, everything was fine. About a month later, it was September 17th, 2020, Mason was playing a joke on his dad. So Mason texted me and says, hey, call my dad and tell him you're pregnant. And I said, no, why would I do that? This would be his dad's first grandchild, basically. So I'm like, I'm not gonna prank your dad. He says, just do it. I told him you're pregnant, but he doesn't believe me. And I said, well, why would he believe you? Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm not pregnant. But then I got to thinking, I was like, I still haven't had my period for this month. I was spotting last month. Let me go take a pregnancy test just to be sure. So I had one clear blue test left. So I took it, I waited, and it was positive. I was so shocked because like it was a joke. Like for Mason to say that, to want me to tell his dad that I was pregnant, that was a joke. It was supposed to be like funny. And I was home by myself. I was freaking out because of the shock. I didn't know how to tell Mason because I felt like we just got in this house. We are impacted by COVID. Like Mason had lost his job. I lost my job for a little while. And we were getting back on our feet a little bit from all that lost time of work. So I was scared. So I texted Adrian and I was freaking out to her. She reassured me that everything was gonna be okay. Mason would be happy. Although we weren't married yet, this is the way it's supposed to be. I'm just like, I was so shocked that I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I'm crying at this point. And I go text Mason, I'm like, he had just gotten off of work. At this point, he was working for his dad, so he was cutting grass for his dad's lawn company. He was coming home, but he always has to go drop the lawn trailer off at his dad's house first. So he was coming home, but he had to do that. So I was like, just hurry up, go drop off the trailer and come home. Like, don't stick around at your dad's and talk. And he's like, why, what's wrong? If you need me to tell me something, just tell me now. I'm like, no, I want to tell you in person. And he's like, Alyssa, you're freaking me out. So I was like, just come home. And then he tries to FaceTime me. I decline it. He tries to FaceTime me again. I decline it again. Then he FaceTimes me a third time and I answer. And I'm not showing my face because I was crying. I didn't want him to see that I was crying. I wanted it to be like a cute surprise like I see on YouTube all the time. Because like at this point I was still shocked and I was scared. But I was like, he needs to know. And if I'm gonna tell him, I want to tell him in a cute way. He's like, why aren't you showing me your face? And I kind of just sniffled and he's like, are you crying? And I said, yes. And he was like, why are you crying? And I just looked at him, he says, what, are you pregnant? Because that was like our joke. And I just started crying more. I didn't say anything. And he's like, Alyssa, don't play with me. Like, don't joke about that. Like, are you pregnant? And I said, yeah. And I showed him the pregnancy test. So he starts freaking out. He's like, oh my God, okay, I'm coming straight home. I'm not gonna go drop the trailer off. So he comes straight home. I show him the test in person. He was very shocked. I think even more than I was. He didn't really say much at first. I mean, I knew he was happy. He assured me he was happy, but he was just very like overwhelmed. So we went to CVS and got 2 more pregnancy tests. I took both of them and they both came out positive. So like it was for sure, like I needed to make a doctor appointment. I took a picture with the pregnancy test and everything and we showed him we took a video. I'll put the video right here if y'all wanna see it. So I took a pregnancy test earlier and it came out positive. So I just took 2 more and Mason's going to see it before me.
Oh Lord, they're almost done.
They're gonna be upside down.
They're not.
Or backwards. He was very excited. Not like jumping up and down excited, but if you know Mason's dad, like he's not gonna get jumping up and down excited. I know this is like a big no-no to tell your family so soon. Like I was 5 weeks pregnant. After we told his dad the next day, like I wanted to tell my parents. I was gonna wait to tell my parents, but I'm so close with my family, and this is like something, like I've always wanted to be a mom. And I was so excited about it at this point. Like the shock was over. It didn't feel real yet, but I was like, this is happening. So the next day we went to my parents' house and we told them I had a box with a little gray onesie in it and a bottle, and then the 3 pregnancy tests I took. And in the bottle, it had a note that said, for Honey and Pop's house only. That's their grandparent name. My mom is Honey and my dad is Pops. They were confused. My mom kind of got it right away, but she was like, "You're pregnant?" And I was like, "Yeah." And my dad was like, "Nah, that's like one of them fake pregnancy tests you buy on Amazon." And I was like, "No, like for real, I'm pregnant. Y'all are gonna be grandparents again." We were gonna stop there, but we ended up telling like my brothers, my grandparents, and then my aunts and uncles. And I know that's a bit huge, like no, like over the span of like from when I was 5 weeks to 10 weeks, like everybody knew at that point. We didn't post on social media till after I had my first ultrasound, which was at the day after my first prenatal appointment. But still, like most people wait till they're like 13, 16, 17 weeks, and I was probably 10 weeks when we told everybody, like when I posted it. I don't know if I would do that again, just because you never know what can happen. I'm just very impatient, so I really wanted to tell like everybody. My first ultrasound appointment, I was nervous, I was very scared. I'm a big person that's like, there's no way that this can be happening to me. Like this is too good to be true. My whole first trimester and probably the first like few weeks of my second trimester, I was very worried all the time. I was very scared that something was gonna happen and I wouldn't know. And I even get like that sometimes now, but now he's bigger and he kicks around a lot, and I know that if he's moving around and kicking around that he's safe, he's okay. So I use that to ease my mind. Obviously, cramping, especially in the first trimester, is normal. It'll feel kind of like muscle cramps, or stretching, not so much period cramps. There was one time I did feel period cramps that really freaked me out, and I ended up going to the doctor just to make sure he was okay. And he was. It was just me overreacting. But even if you feel like you're overreacting, like this is your child's life, so if you really feel like something's wrong, go get yourself checked out, because it's better to be safe than sorry. My first prenatal visit, I was very nervous, obviously. I was scared that they were gonna tell me that something was wrong and this and that, and all the things that first-time moms are always scared to hear. Not even just first-time moms, like all moms are probably scared to hear. She told me like to get on prenatals, which I already was, and like asked me about the baby's dad because she knew I wasn't married. Just a bunch of like personal stuff about my body and about how I was feeling. It was longer than a regular like gynecologist appointment, but it was more so focused on the baby. She did do like a regular like checkup on me just to make sure that I was okay and I didn't have any like diseases or anything, but everything came back clear, obviously. Every appointment after that has been like a quick, like I say quick, but my doctor's always on call, so I always end up waiting like 3 hours in the waiting room for her, which is fine. Moms are delivering babies like at all times of the day, so she has to go sometimes, but it is a very long time to wait most of the time. Basically, I'll be in the room for like less than 20 minutes, and the actual appointment with her is always less than 5 minutes. All she does is come and feel around my stomach, and she just started measuring my stomach to make sure I'm like measuring as far as it should be, as far along as I am. They're always quick, but I always wait a very long time. Nothing to be scared about. I did do a glucose test recently, which a lot of people complain that like the glucose drink is like very disgusting and makes them feel weird. It wasn't nasty. For me, it tasted like very sugary Gatorade and it was very cold. I don't know why it was so cold, but it was really cold. I waited the hour and passed by 1 point. So passing is passing, I guess. I've done like blood tests and stuff. I've had a lot of fatigue, dizziness, nausea, and lightheadedness throughout my pregnancy, which I've always been like confused about. Recently, we just found out that I'm anemic. My first ultrasound was very special. I was very excited to see him for the first time. Obviously, when at my first ultrasound, I didn't know if it was a boy or girl, but I was so excited to see my little Bean. I used to call him Bean. It was very like emotional. With COVID and everything, I've never been allowed to bring Mason to my office visits with me because of social distancing. There's not enough room pretty much in the office spaces and in the waiting rooms for us to safely distance. So only the moms can go to office visits, but to ultrasounds, you can bring one guest. Mason has never been able to come to an ultrasound due to work. We are doing a like first glimpse appointment where we can bring some of our family. We can bring, well, I can bring 5 people, so that's including Dad. We are going to get a 3D ultrasound pretty much. So that's in 2 weeks, which we're very excited about. And that will be the first ultrasound like he's ever been to. But my first one, I brought my mom and she was very excited. Obviously, this is her second grandchild. She's over the moon. But I did get to FaceTime Mason while he was at work because he was still cutting grass with his dad. So he could go take a little break, sit in the truck, and FaceTime me while we were looking at Bean. So finding out what the baby was very nerve-wracking. From the moment I found out I was pregnant, I knew I was having a girl. That was the only thing on my mind, like the only possibility. I was looking at only girl clothes. I was looking at girl, like everything pretty much. Girl toys, girl play mats, girl blankets, girl whatever. Like whatever it was, I was looking at that for girls. I'll play the gender reveal video right here. We found out we were having a boy. I was very shocked. Mason wasn't. Mason he knew we were having a boy. He called it his dad instinct that he knew we were having a boy the whole time, and I just think that's really funny because I thought I was having a mom instinct and thought we were having a girl the whole time, and he ended up being right. Our theme for the gender reveal was "Baby, it's cold outside," and my cousin Katie planned the entire thing. She did a wonderful job. And I was just so happy with how everything turned out. I wouldn't go back and do it any other way, pretty much. The actual reveal was done with a snow machine. So if you know those little snow machines, it's like bubbles, pretty much. But we used that, and then Katie put the food coloring color of the baby. So present day, I just made 28 weeks this past Friday, February 26th. Ethan is measuring roughly about 15 inches long, and he's about 2.2 pounds. I'll show you my belly. This is my belly. He's huge. I feel huge. My due date is May 21st, like I said at the beginning. Coming into my 3rd trimester, my nausea is coming back a bit. I have very bad heartburn every day, especially at night. In my 2nd trimester, I was very depressed and sad and anxious and worried and all this other stuff, and now I've kind of mellowed out a bit. I'm anxious to meet him more than anything. I'm more confident in our ability to have him here, and I know that we will have help no matter what, and that our families will be there for us and for Ethan. And we're just so excited. I'm so excited to be sharing this with y'all. I know that this is kind of late into my pregnancy, but I can't wait to continue. If you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Leave any questions you have for me down below. I'll be overjoyed to answer your questions about pregnancy or about anything in my story. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.